If we take a historic look at TDSB, we know for a fact for at least 5 years they've been running operational deficits. And now they're trying to play politics, and they're doing nothing more than creating anxiety and causing fear-mongering amongst our students and our parents. And so we put it out there to them. We want to work with them. They are receiving $2.97 billion, $3 billion for their operating budget for next year. And we feel very strongly that based on the examples that you heard the Premier reference today in the House and other examples that we have shared, that there is an opportunity to realize efficiencies to the tune of less than 1%. So again, we want to work with TDSB. We ask them respectfully to stop playing politics, and let's roll up our sleeves and make sure that we get it right, because again, all school boards and ourselves need to agree that our number one priority should always be student achievement.
Minister, what do you mean by...
Yesterday you said that everybody had to do their part. The chair of the board says, okay, we're doing our part, this is how we're going to do it. How is that fear-mongering presenting?
The fact of the matter is we do not agree with their numbers. And again, we want to be working with them, and we're moving forward. As you saw in our budget, we're looking to conduct a board governance review. We're looking to modernize school boards as well, and that exercise will ultimately lead us to more efficiencies that we can suggest to our school boards as well.
Isn't this a pattern, Minister? Isn't this exactly what happened in the spat with the Toronto Public Health? Let's attack them, tell them our numbers are all wrong, and everything's just fine. I mean, aren't you doing exactly the same thing? Is this the new playbook from this government?
Well, the fact of the matter is I'm only focused on education and in terms of my comments, and I see the numbers, I see the waste, and I see opportunities. I see opportunities for school boards to realize efficiencies within their own administration.
So, Minister, you say that you want to work with the TDSB. What does that mean exactly? Do you want to go into their books and find efficiencies for them if they're not able to do that to your liking?
Well, certainly. We want to take a look at how all school boards are operating and how we can embrace modernization so that across the province we have consistent efficiencies being realized. And, you know, I take a look at other school boards. There are school boards working together. Catholic and public school boards together are working together on mental health issues. Catholic and public school boards are working together in terms of rolling out efficiencies when it comes to technology and things like that, and apprenticeship programs. The list just goes on and on. So there's so many good benchmarks and best practices out there. I think it behooves us to always be open and willing to work with each other to realize those efficiencies.
A couple more questions, guys. Minister, just to be clear, you believe the school board artificially inflated these numbers to attack the government in some way?
Well, all I can say is I know our numbers are what we have to work with.
What are your numbers?
And again, we have looked at the TDSB. They have a budget of almost $3 billion, $2.97 billion. We've identified a number of wasteful initiatives that could be fixed to realize efficiencies, and we feel very strongly that they could find less than 1% in terms of overall efficiencies. Well, our number actually is much lower than, it's half of that, okay? And again, if I recall, and again, I'll double check with you, Richard, but I believe it's running at around 21 million.
Minister, the bargaining has begun with the
Last question.
School Teachers Federation.
I'm sorry, can you start
The
again?
bargaining has
Yes.
begun with the Secondary School Teachers Federation. I understand it actually has been extended more than the 1 hour or 2 hours in total that was allotted yesterday. So is that, what's that mean? What's the significance of that? And are you at the stage now where you're trying to negotiate what gets negotiated provincially and what gets negotiated at a
That's what's happening right now. And again, another thing to realize, and it goes back to TDSB as well. I'm glad that organizations have come to the table and want to start discussing things early, because one impact that is happening with TDSB is the Local Priorities Fund doesn't expire until August 31st. And so that's a chunk, that's a piece of their overall funding puzzle that they don't have at this time. So I'm very pleased that they're coming together and we've extended talks. We need to make sure that student achievement is our number one focus for everyone at the table. Okay, thank you very much.